probably 70 years now, because these notes are kind of old, male sperm counts have been declining. And nobody knows exactly why. Okay? But, I don't know, the volume of ejaculate is down 20%, and natural sperm count is down 50%. It is true that fertility is a much bigger problem now than it was 50, 60 years ago. All right? So, if you look what's in the semen, well, first of all, the sperm count in an ejaculate, which is about 2 to 6 milliliters, is 20 million sperm per milliliter. So, let's say a 3 milliliter stuff comes out of the guy. That's going to have 6 million sperm in it. Remember what I said? Walking, talking sperm making factories. Okay? They look at the count, then they look at it under the microscope and see how good of swimmers they are. That's called motility. They will look at morphology. In other words, do they have a head, a midpiece, and a tail? Because sperm are produced so rapidly that you can have sperms with 2 heads, sperms with 2 tails, sperms with a half a head, sperms with a half a tail. That's morphology. Then they look at volume, they look at pH, and fructose content. All of those are important in healthy males to ensure fertilization. So sperm plus all the other secretions which pervade the outside are called ejaculation, or the ejaculate. Did that answer your question? Did you ask about shoot blanks? Shoot blanks just means everything's coming out but sperm. So if a guy gets a, what's that surgery called? A vasectomy. What they do, they go in here and they cut this. Okay, now they use a laser, so they cut it and burn both ends.
Okay, so yeah.
Oh, is that important to you? They cut this. Okay, they burn both ends. So the guy's still making stuff. He's still making seminal vesicle fluid, he's still making prostate fluid, but he's not making sperm. So the guy still will have something come out of him. There's just no sperm in it. Okay? And they do make you wait. You're supposed to wait a few days, then they have you get a sperm sample count, because it's not uncommon that the sperm can hang around and there might be a few sperm left. Two. Let me finish this. Remind me, I want to tell you the story and then we'll go. You'll giggle at this. Alright. So, remember what I said about the sperm hat? When the sperm hat gets worn off, that's called capacitation. Then, after the sperm hat is worn off, now the sperm has developed the ability to fertilize the egg. And I already talked about this. We'll talk about that when we come back from break. So I'll leave you with this funny story. When I was about 19 or 20, I was in the military. And I was working on a floor in a hospital. And this guy was about 40-ish. And had a really hot, young girlfriend. I'm thinking back, right? I was only 20, so knowing how old she was, kind of hard to remember. But I think she was probably barely 24 or 25. And way better looking than he should have had. You know what I mean? Okay? He came in carrying his scrotum. It was the size of a basketball. What happened was, back then, so this would have been in the early 80s, they did vasectomies with a scalpel, which means there was more blood. So he had a vasectomy, and I'm sure they said, okay, don't have sex for 4 days or whatever. Somebody, either her or him, couldn't wait. And he hemorrhaged into his scrotum. And the reason I remember it is because, first of all, imagine how embarrassed I was. But she came in with a giggling, that nervous laugh that I'll never forget. She's like, hey, look what he did. So these days, I guess that's theoretically still possible, because they do tell you can't go home and have sex. You have to wait for things to heal. It's not like it used to be, right? With the surgery or with the lasers, it's much more precise, and there's much less bleeding. That's the big advantage to the lasers. And you know what we did for him? We sliced open his scrotum, put a drain tube in it, and just let him lay in bed for 4 days with an ice pack, because there was nothing else you could do. And gave him lots of drugs.
Okay, but how about blood? Did you have to have more blood?
No, a basketball full, that's not for people.
Did you ever hear of it grow back together? My
Yeah,
buddy had.
you know, that's probably possible, but really